to be hunted and eaten as food. Now, that includes little children who wind up there, sometimes because they die along with parents who, for some reason, there are a lot of little children in that world. And those little children are abused. It's just as physical over there as it is here. So this whole spirit, spirit thing didn't pan out. We're not ephemeral wisps of energy floating around cemeteries. And the first time I really got that was when using EVP. I learned it through talking to people on the other side. They told me, and Francis in particular, Francis Haley, told me in particular what life was like over there, which was fine in the beginning because I knew he had been a screw-up, let's just say, and his friends were all messed up too, and I figured, well, okay, they got what they deserved by being in that place. It was not until I learned about the children there that that was a wake-up call for me. He told me that there was a family who were being kicked out of their house. They had no money, and he said if they go to jail, the sadistic jailers will rape the little children. And that was the day that I said, there's another agency here. This is not about God. This is not about karma. There's something wrong. And that really is what got me started. And once I figured that out and I stopped being, a cloud-riding New Ager, the people on the other side began to talk to me really honestly. Because I said, there's something wrong. You're not supposed to be there. This is not right. And that got their attention. And that's when they really asked me if I would try to help them. Of course, how do I do that? But
now, you said, well, do you feel like a messenger of sorts? You said at one time on your website, I never wanted to be a messenger. But do you feel like a messenger of sorts?
Well, I feel like I stumbled upon this EVP and then reverse speaking. It just happened. Whether it was ordained or not, I don't know. I don't feel that this is anything special with me. It's not my great gifts or my big psychic ability. It's nothing to do with that. It's a technical modality that I happened upon, and my intention for the website was to try to get other people listening too, because the more the better.
And you succeeded.
That's the best part of this.
Now, you say your house is like Grand Central Station. The first few questions here I'm going to ask you how all this has affected you and your personal life. So you mentioned that your house is like Grand Central Station. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's always entities here. For the first 2 years, Francis and the gang were in and out all the time. They would talk to me on my recorder. Now, I had glimpses of Francis, but it was very quick. But most of the time, I don't see or hear interdimensional, either people or reptilians. And I'm glad. I do not need that. I mean, if I thought I could, I would shut it down to the best of my ability. But they would be here. They would comment on, they knew about my habits. They knew about my life. They knew about, there is no privacy whatsoever, let me tell you.
And besides that, they even invaded you during the night. You said you had nighttime encounters with them.
Sure, they'd be in bed with me.
Well, tell me, one of the more shocking parts of what you shared with everybody was that you had nighttime encounters with reptilians and that they molested you and made you pregnant at one point.
I did. That did happen. That was, I did not consciously think, at first I did not believe that they were pulling me out of my body and molesting me or raping me. I did not believe that. I thought I was completely protected. And by reversing myself, I found out that that was not necessarily true, that they can do that, and they do it to almost everybody, whether they remember it or not. It doesn't matter. I did tell myself that...
In reverse speech.
In reverse speech. See, I talk to myself in reverse. I ask myself questions and I give myself answers. And this part of my mind is much more aware than this shut down conscious state. And I basically told myself, I don't know if I can say this, I said it in such a way